Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome back to a very strange video. This video is very strange because I don't ever just like a book and then stop reading it and start another book, but I have done that like 8 times now. I am in the middle of 8 books and I need help. We're gonna pretend like I didn't just film pretty much this entire intro clip and then realize that I wasn't recording. So just filming it again. And you may be wondering why we're in front of a window, because I really wanted to film this outside, but it is hot. It's like gonna be 88 degrees today. And there are bugs everywhere out there and wasps. And I've had a spider crawling on my hand and I was like, nope, I'm coming inside. We're just gonna film in here today. So here we are. So I thought I'd just tell you the 8 books that I'm in the middle of, and then we'll just read them together, like a little vlog where I just tell you a little bit about the book and then we try to finish it. And it may take the whole summer. I don't know. This could be a really long video, hopefully not too long. But I think the reason why, I think there's 2 reasons why that I've stopped at 8 books and started new ones. And it's because, one, I've been a mood reader. Even if I've really enjoyed a certain book, then something else calls to me and I'm like, oh, I love this book, but now I really want to try this book. And this never happens to me in my entire life. Never have I been in the middle of 8 books, but here we are. And then the second reason is because my mom, when she was in the hospital for like 2 months, and then I would have to go to Ashland and I get to listen to an audiobook for like 4 hours in the car of driving time. And then all of a sudden I didn't have time to read anything. So by the time I was like really invested in that one book, and then I had no more time to read. So I would just like pick up something else at that point, I guess. But let's just talk about the 8 books I'm in the middle of. We're gonna go from the ones that I'm farthest into to the ones that I am the least into, because I think that's probably how I'll finish them. I don't know, we'll see. But first is Quicksilver. I'm gonna finish that one probably in just the next couple days. It's not good. I'm 75% in, and why don't I just DNF it? I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be like 2.5 stars. Like, it's bad. It's worse than Fourth Wing. It's worse than A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't even like fantasy romance. Why am I reading this book? I don't know. But for some strange reason, I'm committed and I'm gonna finish it just so we can make fun of it together, basically. I'm reading it just because it's bad at this point and I wanna make fun of it with you and be able to talk about it with you. Then the next one I'm kind of in the middle of, more so, is this one, Perdido Street Station. I'm like a good chunk, like 2/3 of the way done with this book, and it's gonna be one of my favorite all-time books ever. But the reason I wanted to put it off is because I was like, well, I wanna give it all of its time. You know, I wanna be able to annotate it. I want to be able to really think about it and read it slowly and not be tired when I'm reading it, because when I come home from school and play with my 4-year-old, then I'm tired and want to go to sleep. And I'm like, I only have like 30 minutes of reading time a day maybe. And I'm just too tired at that point. So I saved it. Like, I started this over Christmas break and it is now June. So yes, I've saved this book a long time to be able to read it. And same thing with actually the next book. I think this is the one I'm next farthest into maybe. But same thing with this one, where I am 228 pages into this book, and I saved it to read physically also over the summer. Started it over Christmas break. This is Haites' Daughter by Sarah Douglas, book 1 of the Troy game series, which says on here that it's a start of a new trilogy, but actually, spoiler alert, it's 4 books. Guess the author realizes she had enough content to write 4. This is like a historical fantasy that sort of, I mean, it is set in the real world, and this one's set in ancient Greece, and then it follows this like cast of characters that are reborn. They're reincarnated in different time periods all throughout history, moving closer and closer to present day. And book 4 takes place during like World War II times. So there's always something big going on in the world when this book is happening. But really, this book's like a soap opera. It's like a historical fantasy soap opera. It's like Game of Thronesy. You definitely want to check out trigger warnings. There's some intense stuff in here. Very, like I said, very Game of Thronesy, but I absolutely loved it. And this is a reread for me. My friend and I discovered the series in college. I think she's like an Australian author, so I don't even know how we discovered this. Yeah, but we found it and we loved it, and now I'm rereading it, and I think I like it even more the second time, honestly. Okay, I think the one I'm next into, as far as percentage-wise, is The Staircase in the Woods. Actually, I might be more into that one than this one, but oh well. Staircase in the Woods, I'm 36% of the way through, by Chuck Wendig, and this is a relatively newer release, and it's fantasy horror, kind of. Well, I wouldn't even say fantasy, more just horror, I guess, with like a little fantastical element to it. And I don't usually read horror, but if it has like a fantasy element, I sometimes like it. Like, I love God in the Shed. It's like my favorite horror book ever, and one of my favorite books of all time. But this one, I don't know, so far it's just okay. I do really, really like the characters and the writing style a lot. The author spent a long time building up the characters, but now some scary stuff is starting to happen, and I don't do scary stuff. So I'm a little scared, but it is kind of Stranger Things vibes. I don't know if it's going to get super, super dark and scary, but I will continue it and we'll finish it together and we'll find out. Okay, the one I'm next into the most, I don't know how to word that, next into the most, I don't know, is An Impossible Impostor, which is book 7 of the Veronica Speedwell series. And I'm 31% of the way into that book. This one, I did DNF a little bit because I was bored. I wasn't as into this one, but honestly, after book four was so good in that series, a dangerous collaboration. Books 5 and 6, disappointing. So book 7 is just about like the other two, just kind of boring. I still love the main characters, Veronica and Stoker, and I love the writing, and it's kind of funny and whimsical and lighthearted, and they always go on little adventures, but the plot's just boring. Like, I don't care about the actual mysteries that they're trying to solve in this book. Okay, the next two I'm kind of tied for being as far into them, which is The Fall of Babel by Josiah Bancroft. This is the final book of 4 books in the Books of Babel series, and I am about, I don't know, somewhere around there-ish, I suppose. But this book is huge. And it's been years since I started reading it, so I'm probably gonna have to start it over again. And book 1 is Sinless Sins. I loved, well, I thought it was okay. That one was okay. Loved book 2. Book 3 I did not like at all, so I'm kind of scared about book 4 because the series has been all over the place for me. I'm gonna have to skim, or just read a plot summary of the other books to remember what the heck's even happening in this one. So, but yeah, I'm intrigued because it's a very unique fantasy series for sure. It did not go in the direction I thought it was going to, so I will continue. 2 more to go. Next is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. I am 26% of the way through this book. I really, really enjoyed this one. It is like fantasy mystery with a Sherlock Holmes type main character, but she's a girl, and then there's a Watson type character who's the narrator, and they team up, you know, and have a little adventure. But it's in a fantasy world, which is really, it's all based on like plants and stuff, and it's really cool. And I was just getting to the good part when I was listening to the audiobook, and I loved the first part of the audiobook when I could really pay attention to it. And then when I got too busy and couldn't really pay attention, the book wasn't as good. And so I know it's not the book's fault. I know it was me not paying attention and being too busy. So I think I'm gonna have to read this one physically, and I think I will like it much better for it. And the final book I'm in the middle of is Daisy Haites, which is the second book kind of in this Magnolia Parks universe series. I read Magnolia Parks, I don't know, like sometime a few months ago, and I liked it pretty well. I gave it like 3.5 stars. It's very much Gossip Girl, but like older characters basically in London, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't like it as much as Gossip Girl, which it's like my guilty pleasure that I like Gossip Girl. And then this series, like the second book follows Daisy Haites, then the third book goes back to Magnolia Parks, the fourth book goes back to Daisy Haites, and I'm pretty sure that this book takes place at the exact same time as the first book did, the Magnolia Parks book, just from Daisy's point of view, but they have a different story. It's not like the same story just from a different character's point of view. It's like she's got her own stuff going on. I think she gets involved like with the mafia, like she's either in the mafia or somebody she dates is in the mafia. I can't remember. I barely started this one. I was like 10 or 15% in. And I do hear that this book is even better than Magnolia Parks. So I'm gonna give it another chance and listen to the audiobook sometime this summer. So those are the 8 books I'm currently in the middle of. Let's finish them together. So I'm sitting here folding the laundry, and I am bored out of my mind with this book. Why am I still reading this book? I don't know, but I'm still reading Quicksilver. I'm like 80% of the way, maybe even more than 80%. I just kind of want to finish it and be done. Like, why am I still reading it? I don't know. This is fantasy romance at its peak for sure. Like, it is just fantasy romance. And I heard, I don't know if this is true, and I have no idea if it's true for this book or not, so I'm just making this up, but I heard somebody say that like authors get paid per page or per page read or something on Kindle Unlimited, and that's why maybe some of these books are so long. I don't know if that's true with this book or not, but this book is way too long. It's a 20-hour audiobook. We don't need that. Like, what are we doing here? So I'm just gonna finish it because I'm powering through, but it is boring. The plot does not really matter, and I don't care. At least with Fourth Wing, I kind of cared about the plot. And I kind of liked the characters. I don't really care that I liked the main character in the beginning before she even went to the fairy world, but then when she got to the fairy world, I didn't care. I don't really care about Kingfisher. I am shocked that this is Books and Lala. Kayla, she, famous YouTuber, she really liked this book as far as fantasy romance goes. I think she would definitely like Fourth Wing better, which she says she'll never ever read it, but how could you say that this book is not is better than Fourth Wing? I don't know. I don't even know why I like Fourth Wing, but I did. But this book is terrible. Like there's no stakes. Like you feel like they're trying to be stakes, but like the plot just doesn't even matter. Nothing matters. The pacing's weird. I feel like we're not getting anywhere sometimes, and we're just moving towards some end that the author's just doing. I don't know. Like it's just not good storytelling. And I mean, some of the writing's okay, I guess, but nothing really stands out. So there's nothing really drawing me to the story at all. The romance is fine, I suppose, but for some reason I'm still reading it. Let me just finish it so we can move on to the next book. Okay, I just got my hair done, and I've only got I don't know, 28 minutes, I think, left of this audiobook. So I just thought I'd tell you my current thoughts, which is I don't even care if I finish it. Oh my gosh, I don't even care. We're talking about Quicksilver still, and it's 20-hour audiobook, like I said before. And here is my thinking. If people are reading this for the romance, then they absolutely do not care about 20 hours of fantasy. Like, they don't care. I mean, most of it still got a fantasy plot. They don't care about that part. They're just in it for the romance, so the book can be much shorter. If they're in it for the fantasy part and not so much the romance, then the plot kind of sucks. Like, it's not a good fantasy story. So in other words, I don't know who would read this book. Who would read this book if you're not in it for the romance or the fantasy? I mean, either one that you're in it for, you should pick a different book. I did it. I finished Quicksilver. Also, it's raining. Sorry, yeah, that was obviously really fake. It's raining, so it's a perfect time to go read a much better book than this. And here's what I've decided. The only good thing about this book is that every book that I read after it, I think now, is going to seem short. Because this book was just so epically long. And I started listening to another audiobook that I'll tell you about in a minute, and I'm already 18% of the way through it, and I just started it like less than 12 hours ago. I'm like, well, that's where it's at. Well, no, probably about 12 hours ago. What time is it? No, 12 hours ago was like midnight. I don't even know. Less than 24 hours ago, and I've read 18% of it, and yet it took forever to get through this book. So what have we learned? I should not read fantasy romance? I don't know, unless it's like super hyped, although I feel like this one's pretty hyped. And I only read it because Kayla from Books and Lala said it was good, and she doesn't normally like this kind of book, so I don't know what I've learned here. But like I said before, I just think that if you're in this for the fantasy part is not good. If you're in it for the romance and you don't care about the other 500 pages of fantasy, you just care about the 100 pages of romance, you know, I don't know. This is just not the book. I guess it's trying to be fourth wing, but the ending too, the ending goes off the rails. Like, the ending was actually a little bit exciting. If only some of those things had happened earlier on and this wasn't going to be an epically long series or something. Maybe if it had just been like one story, I don't know, then they could have done some cool things with it. The ending's ridiculous, but I mean, like I said, I honestly kind of like the ending. I think I'd give this book like 2 stars. Let's be real. It's not good. So our next book is Daisy Haites by Jessa Hastings, and this is such an intriguing cover. I like the Magnolia Parks cover too. It's very busy. It does not look like the modern style of books these days, and I mean, look, there's like guns on it because I guess they're like in the mafia and stuff. Anyway, I don't like it as much so far as I do Magnolia Parks, which is funny because everybody says that this one is better than Magnolia Parks, but to me, I liked the character of Magnolia better, although I just read a scene where this character, Daisy Haites, runs into Magnolia Parks, and she's like, ugh, she's terrible. I don't like her at all. I would never talk to her. And I'm like, that's really funny because I just read a book about her and now this other character's like, I don't like her. Anyway, I'm not a huge fan of Daisy Haites, so that's kind of funny. But so far, I mean, it's fine. It's very just mindless and easy to listen to. And honestly, I started it over. So I was 18%, or no, I was 12. I was 12% of the way through this book. Not very far. It's the one I was the least far into. So really, I shouldn't have been reading it next. I think the only reason I read it next is because I just needed something mindless to like listen to while I'm packing because we're getting ready to go to the beach. And I just wanted something that didn't take much brain power. And honestly, it's this, right? Because it's not like high fantasy or anything. There's nothing I have to learn characters' names and places and stuff. It's just drama is like all this is. And so far it's just not as fun as Magnolia Parks, because in Magnolia Parks it's all about how she's, you know, kind of like a star-crossed lover kind of situation with this one guy named BJ. And it's just like, will they, won't they kind of thing, like all the time. They love each other, then they hate each other, then they backstab each other, but then they still always love each other because they're true love. And like, that was it. That was the whole book. And they're just like yearning for each other and so upset all the time. And their emotions are so big and they're rich. And it's like Gossip Girl, but for adults. And it was so much fun. This one, I'm not getting the fun. It's just not as fun. Because so in this one, she's the sister of like a mob boss kind of dude. And their parents died when they were younger. I think both the parents died. She talks about her mom. I'm assuming they both died. And they just kind of only have each other. But she's like romantically entangled with a lot of people, including some guy who is like friends with her brother kind of, but also used to be with Magnolia from the other series. And then we don't know if they actually like really like each other or not. I don't even know if they're just kind of like physically attracted to each other, but I think they're going to wind up, I think it's their love story, but I honestly did not read the plot synopsis, or I haven't read it in a long time anyway. So I'm not sure who the love interest is, but I think it's him. His name's Christian. And then there's this other guy who is like a cop or somebody who's going to investigate her brother, and she's interested in him a little bit too, because he looks like Paul Walker from Fast and the Furious. They mentioned that in there. And yeah, it's just fine. Like, I just don't really care that much. And she's like a biomed student or something. And it's fine, but we're going to continue. And I've read 18% of it in less than 24 hours. So I guess that means I'm liking it pretty good. Line it up.
Ah!
Yes! You want to try that one again?
You're doing so good.
No way. No way. No way. As you're swimming from one end to the other. Well, we're back from the beach and it's finally time for an update. So I am 80% through Daisy Jones. Not Daisy Jones. Oh my gosh, Daisy Haites, whatever book. But first, I'll show you my candy. I'm eating cotton candy Pop Rocks, and I want to see if you can hear them popping because they pop like crazy. We bought my son tons of Pop Rocks, and he doesn't really like them, like maybe in small quantities, but he's kind of scared of them because they pop a lot. Can you hear that? That's crazy. No wonder he doesn't like them. They kind of like burn your tongue if you don't move them around. Anyway, they're just really fun. So I'm eating Pop Rocks. So Daisy Jones. No, Daisy Haites. Daisy Haites, and I am really enjoying it. I think I mentioned before that I didn't think I was going to like this book as much as I did Magnolia Parks, and in some ways I don't. It's really hard to say which one I like better because the Magnolia Parks books, I liked Magnolia and BJ as the main characters because they're like fated, but they can't be together. And I mean, it's kind of the same way in this one, but it's like the other love story, they were like, oh, it was so epic, you know, and I don't know, something about it. It was like Chuck and Blair from Gossip Girl, you know, and then this one is more just kind of like, their love story's fine, I guess, but I kind of like Daisy. Oh, I'm seeing wasps again. I kind of like Daisy better than Magnolia. Wow, there's like two wasps are like chasing each other around. What the heck? I don't really like Christian, the main guy, that much. I like her brother Julian, but I love the plot. The plot is so fun. I mean, literally, like they use guns. You know, there's guns on the front cover. There's like they use guns. There's like an art heist at one point because her brother is like basically an art thief and is like the leader of this gang. Oh my gosh, the wasps are out of control. I'm gonna have to go get my husband to do something about that. And anyway, I'm gonna go try to finish this book and I will update you when I'm not being attacked by a wasp. Okay, so I'm back from the beach. I can't remember if I told you that or not. I think I did. And I have good news and bad news. The good news, I finished Daisy Haites. And you may be wondering, Megan, why do you want a physical copy of this book now? Because you didn't before? Well, that's the bad news. The bad news is I bought all of them, the whole series, which means I'm going to be just a little bit distracted now in trying to finish all the other books for this vlog. You know how this whole vlog is like spending the summer, hopefully even just the first part of the summer, finishing reading all the books I'm in the middle of. Well, that's on hold now. We are pausing on that TBR, and I won't put it all in this video or anything because obviously that's not what this video is about, but I will be pausing. This video could take a longer to film than I anticipated because I am going to now read all of them. I am a decent chunk into book 3 as well, and then of course these are big. Like this one's not too big, but then this one's like huge. So let me just give you a quick update. Let me set them over here and tell you why I bought the whole series. I bought the whole series because this one, I upped my rating on this one to like 3.5 stars. So this book, I was like, yeah, it's fine. You know, I even DNF'd it the first time, obviously, which is why I started the whole thing again, which I'm glad I did because I'd forgotten some of the characters and stuff. And then as we got more into it, it got more like focused on the plot. Whereas in Magnolia Parks, it's more just the romance. Like there's not too much of another plot besides just the romance and like the characters and that's it. But in this one, there's kind of an actual plot with like the gang lord thing going on where her brother is a gang lord, right? And there's, yeah, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away if you read this book, but let's just say it gets a lot more plotty by the end of it, and it kind of goes off the rails. And I was running on the treadmill the other day and I was listening to the audiobook and I had the ebook on my iPad in front of me because I had both, and I can kind of run on the treadmill if I'm just sort of jogging slowly, and I can listen to the book. And I was doing that, and I got to the epic like climax finale at the end, and it was wild. It went off the rails, and I was like 4.5 stars. I finished the book and was like, okay, the beginning I guess technically wasn't 4.5 stars, but with how good the ending was and how much I enjoyed it overall, I gave it 4.5 stars, which is crazy, right? This is gonna be like my biggest surprise of the year, I think. And then when I read the plot synopsis, so, because in this book, you follow 3 characters. I think I mentioned that before. Daisy and Christian, who are the main love interest, but then also her brother, Julian, who's very interesting. and I saw sort of a spoiler for what's going to happen in the rest of the series, and I was like, I've got to read the series. So I'm actually glad I did see the spoiler, or I don't know if I would have been convinced to pick up the rest of the series right away. But I did decide to pick up the series right away. So I'm continuing. So I'm reading this one right now, back to Magnolia Parks again, and then I promise I will finish that. And whenever I do, well, actually, I'm the whole series. I'm going to pause on this video. I'm going to finish this entire series, and then we're going to start back probably with the horror novel, because I'm kind of in the mood for something scary right now. And we're going to read The Staircase in the Woods. So despite the fact that I am now in the middle of 2 other books, Spy Family manga, and the 4th in like the Magnolia Parks series, Daisy Haites and the Great Undoing, which I'm doing on audio, I need another physical book. So we're going to get back to Perdido Street Station, one of my favorite books, like, of all time. And I started it over Christmas break last year. So like last December. It is now, tomorrow's July. And I've not finished it. I was on page 436. Oh, I forgot I was annotating it. I was actually writing a few notes here and there in the margins and underlining some stuff. So I'm going to have to kind of skim, like I can't skim 436 pages. And these are like big pages too. It takes like 2 or 3 minutes per page for me. So I think I don't know, I'll just skim the last little part. Like I remember all the main plot stuff that was happening. But this book is not for everybody. This book is like if Charles Dickens wrote like a sci-fi, but set in kind of a really weird, disturbing, dystopian world. It reminds me, there was a game, oh my gosh, what's the name of it? Disco Elysium or something. It was a video game, and I played like a little bit of it. The world of that game reminds me of this world for some reason. But anyway, this book is super, super weird. It's one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. So I'm gonna go start that now. So this is what, the 3rd book for this vlog now, like the 8th that I'm in the middle of. But I think after I finish the audiobook of this one, I'm not gonna read the last book in the series yet, because it's been a lot. It's been like 3 of these books in a row, and I need to take a break. I'm kind of tired of them a little bit. So, I mean, this one's good, but yeah, I'm gonna take a break from them. So I think I'll go back to Staircase in the Woods as my audiobook, probably like here in the next couple days, and I will update you more on that one. But yes, so we're gonna get back to this one and see if I remember anything about it. Also, just so you know, I won my race that I did, like my age group, and I got a trophy. Oh, I almost dropped it. I literally have never won a trophy. I won a medal because I won 2nd place, and I did not know that they gave trophies to 1st place. But yeah, I was 1st place in my age group for the 10K. It was so hot. I did not get my PR. About 3.5 miles in, we were going up a hill, and the sun came out, and it was like 9 a.m. in, you know, the end of June. It was so hot. Everybody had to slow down. Like I would have been passed out, dying, throwing up, just sick, miserably ill. And so I didn't want to do that to myself. So I slowed down, and I'm glad I did, because it didn't matter. Obviously I still won a trophy, which is very exciting because everybody had to slow down. And I'm going to take a break from training for a while. I don't think that I have the desire to try to run a 10K that fast ever again. My PR is just going to be what it is, because I just don't enjoy running really fast. I like running long and slow. I would much rather run like a slow half marathon, you know, because I don't like running fast, especially not in long distances. But my husband and I actually signed up for some Disney virtual races because we love the medals. So we're gonna do 3 5Ks because we got like 3 little medals, and you get a 4th medal because you did the other 3. So I'll have to show you those whenever we get them in the mail. So technically I have to do 3 5Ks, but I'm not like caring about the time or training for them or anything like that. Just trying to stay in shape is the kind of the new goal. So I realized I should probably update you on this book before I actually finish it. I'm getting pretty close, as in like 140 pages or something from the end. I'm obviously still loving it. It's my favorite book of the year. It is still gonna be, sorry, I don't know how the lighting looks on this. It's still gonna be like a 5-star book, favorite book of the year, but it's a little slow right now. I mean, you know, I'm almost on page 600 here, and we're still not at like I say the climax. I don't even think it's the climax, but the big kind of like fight scene at the end. I thought it was going to be the end fight scene, and then it wasn't. And so now I guess there's going to be another end fight scene. I'm not really sure, but it's a little slower now, and there's not really much else going on. Like before, it would cut to other people with other things happening, and now it's just sticking with the same group of people pretty much the whole time. So I'm ready for there to be another plot thread. But I guess they obviously have to wrap everything up, so we're just following the main plot thread right now. But there was one plot thread that didn't go anywhere, and I'm like, is it going to come back? We spent a long time with a character who now we don't really see from at all, for a reason, but I'm like, why was that all a thing? You know, why was that all a thing if we're not going to do anything with it? So I mean, it's still, like I said, still great. It's still amazing. I still love the writing style, but I'm ready to kind of see how it's going to end. But I'm on the next section. So there's different sections. I don't even want to tell you the name of this part because if you've not read it, like it might spoil something for you. But I'm on part 7, I think. Yeah, part 7, and there's 8 parts. So I'm assuming that this is going to be the big finale, and then that the last part's going to just sort of be like the aftermath. And I've also realized that I think this is organized more like a Shakespeare play, where I think the climax was more towards the middle / first part of the book, because I think that the climax was like the big thing that happened, that now everything else is a result of that. So what I've been reading is kind of like the falling action that is like the fallout because of the climax, and then now I think I'm heading towards the actual resolution. I keep saying I'm heading towards the climax of the book, but really I think I'm headed towards the resolution, and I think the climax was something that happened a long time ago, much earlier on in the book, because it really is what set off everything, and so much of everything built up to it, which is what a climax traditionally is. It's just in most modern novels, the climax is towards the end of the book, it seems like, whereas like in, like Shakespeare times, like in his plays, the climax was always directly in the middle of the play. They were like 5-act plays, and the climax was always in act 3, and it was really easy to follow the plot structure because of that. Also, I'm having my favorite drink, my favorite of all the seltzer water flavors, the limoncello, I don't know how to say it. So good. Oh, and really quickly, I just want to show you, we painted down here. Why does my camera look grainy? I don't know, my phone camera's looking blurry. There's something wrong with it. I'll have to fix it. Sorry for the blurriness. But yeah, we painted this room, and is this not so cool? Like, it's dark, and then we painted down there in that hallway. Like, there's a whole hallway that goes down there, and it is a light gray. And eventually we're gonna get light up movie posters over there. And we switch out our movie posters seasonally. Like, we have Halloween ones for Halloween time, scary movies, and we have Christmas movies at Christmas time. But yeah, I could not believe that the dark, I'll show you behind me here, that the dark actually looks really good. So now I guess I have to watch more movies, but all I want to do is just read books. Well guys, oops, I accidentally did not update you at all for reading Staircase in the Woods, and it's because I was reading it for Summerween. So I have a vlog that's already out where I read Staircase in the Woods. So I did read that one. So we're down to fewer books now. I gave that one 4 stars. It was actually pretty good. So there's that. I'm not going to put more about it in this vlog because I just don't want to. The ending was a little rushed. Like, the middle was slow, and I thought it was just because of the way I was reading it so slowly. Sorry, I'm trying to find my Goodreads list here. But I think that it's the case for everybody based on what I read on Goodreads, that the ending is just kind of fast for no reason. We are down to, what, like 4 books now? Okay, let's check Goodreads and see. Look at that, 4 books to go. So Tainted Cup, I think I'll do next. I don't care about the Veronica Speedwell one. I guess this one would be an easy one to do. These 2, I think I'm going to have to read more like physically. I think I immersion read this one, but this one I'm going to probably have to read physically. It's more wintry, so I don't know. I might save it till last. I think I'm going to go with the Tainted Cup. And what I think I'm going to do is go back and read. What did it just say? I was at like 20-some% or something. I listened to it on audio the first time, which actually worked really well. And I'm about to be in the car again for 4 hours this next Monday because I have to go drive to Ashland for a dentist appointment, which you're like, why would you go all the way to Ashland? You live in a city. Can't you go to the dentist there? Can't find a good dentist here that's like cheap. I mean, like decent priced, So I'm going to go back to Ashland because my dentist there is really awesome and not too expensive. Okay, I'm going to do the Tainted Cup. I was at, 26%. So right now I'm going to go skim the first 26% of this book. That way I'm ready to read the audiobook on that 4-hour drive on Monday. I know you can't see this at all. Oh, you probably saw that lightning. The lightning outside here is absolutely crazy. Like, it is pouring the rain. Can you hear it through the window? Oh my gosh, what a night to read though. This is like so perfect. I was hoping you'd see more lightning. Oh, there's a little. I'm turning my bed down. I've got my physical copy of the book. I went to the library and got it. This thing it's the hardcover. Like, it's on, the design and stuff is like on the hardcover. And even the stuff on the back, and it's a big book. It's a big, thick, super pretty book. And I'm going to sit here in my bed and almost fall asleep reading it with the rain. It's going to be great, especially because this is a very plant-themed book. So maybe I'm being too extra now, but I wanted this ambiance to be so perfect that I wanted to match the lights in my room to this book. So, like, the book is, this navy blue and green and gold. So that light is green, this light is blue, and this light over here is gold. Too much? Maybe. Okay, I have a final update for you on the Tainted Cup. And yes, we're driving again. I'm driving back from Ashland because I had to come for a dentist appointment. It's like, yes, I drove 4 hours total for a dentist appointment and to see my parents on a random Monday during the summer. So I finished the Tainted Cup. Also, my allergies Don't even get me started. Okay, I guess I should actually pay attention to the road at some point too. So I am so conflicted on the rating for this, but in my heart of hearts, it's not quite a 4-star. I mean, I'm gonna have to really think. I'm gonna maybe go do the call pile rating system or whatever, but I'm thinking 3.75, just because, okay, if you think about the call pile system, characters, 8, 9 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10. I don't know, I liked the characters, I actually really did. They grew on me especially. I kind of feel like I know them and I want to read more stories about them. I like the characters more than the plot, for sure. The atmosphere, really liked, like 9 out of 10 for atmosphere, for sure. Very moody, very fall vibes, all plants, and so good to read in the rain. I really, really, really like that. Now, writing would be next. Writing, 9. It's good writing. It was great. Yeah, I mean, not like great, not like fantastic. Okay, maybe like an 8. There's nothing wonderful, but I never felt like I was reading a book. You know, I was being just told a story. Sometimes I feel like they're trying too hard, you know? I mean, not very flowery language or anything, so that, but yeah, it was fine. Plot, that was my one downfall with this book, is the plot, because first part was really intriguing, but then once the author tried to add more and more layers, I just didn't care. Like, I just didn't really care about the mystery, honestly. It wasn't as big, grand thing as I mean, yes, there was kind of a grander conspiracy, but it still wasn't as grand as I expected. I don't want this to be too much of a spoiler, but like, you know, there are giant sea, like, leviathans that come and attack these towns every so often, and you would think that there might be more to do with them. You know, that's a pretty big deal. Not as much to do with them as you would think. And then as far as the, let's see, what's intrigue? I mean, I was intrigued enough to continue. I never wanted to DNF it, but I give it like a 7. Plot, I'd give like a 5 or something. I just didn't care. I didn't care about how it wrapped up. The big reveals at the end were just kind of like, oh, okay. All right. The author did try to do a lot. He was very ambitious, I suppose. Logic, I mean, it all made sense, I suppose. The only thing I didn't like, I don't know if I'd put it under logic or not, more maybe the writing, I don't know. But the one thing I didn't really like is I like books where you get to solve a little bit of the mystery along the way. So, like, I always come back to Holly Jackson, Good Girl's Guide to Murder. They give you a clue and then they kind of solve it. And another clue and kind of solve it. And it kind of like helps them find the next clue. Whereas this one I felt is just like, let's just find 14 hours worth of clues. Well, I guess 13, because it kind of comes together at the end. 13 hours worth of clues, and then the last hour of the book, we'll put them all together. You know, like an audiobook listening time, that is. Because this book is 14 hours, which, yeah, it's a little long. Do I have a car beside me? Oh, I do. Lane assist for the win. You know, that's exciting. So I do wish that it hadn't just been clue, 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 have no idea what's going on. I mean, there's no way you could have solved it. Like, a person couldn't have solved it. The logic, oh, that's logic, and then overall enjoyment, like a 7 out of 10. So that's why, I mean, I guess it could still be a 4-star technically if you looked at all the ratings of everything, but I just don't think so. I just don't think it could. The second half really, really went downhill for me. So I'm gonna say, wow, this person behind me just like really wants to get around me. Yeah, go ahead. You just go right for it. I hope you get a speeding ticket. Yeah, you go right for it. Get that ticket, bro. Friends of Cole, you get that ticket. That's what they have, these Friends of Cole stickers. Anyway, so overall, pretty good. I will continue the series, I do believe. I think I will. I will continue the series. I will update you later when I decide what I'm going to read next, because I'm a little conflicted, and we'll have to discuss it. Hey guys, update. We're moving on to the next book, but before I give you the update, I pulled a muscle coughing because I've been having allergies for so long. So I've been taking all this Aleve and stuff. But in other news, let me show you my dessert. This is a cotton candy cake from Walmart. This is the best cake in the entire world. It tastes like cotton candy. I'm a cotton candy fanatic, obsessed, just obsessed with cotton candy. Everything, anything cotton candy flavored. The cotton candy liquid IVs, those are good. Pro tip, let it sit out for like 30 minutes on the counter. It's not as good when it's really, really cold because the icing's so hard. It's so good. The first few bites are the best because it's so flavorful. You get like desensitized to it the more you eat it. So we're moving on to The Impossible Impostor. Will this be the final book for this video? I don't know. I think after this, we only have 2 more books. And one of them is The Fall of Babel, which I'm gonna have to go back and like reread. So I think I might just say I'm not really in the middle of that one anymore. Here comes Ella and her clicky little paws because I have food. So I don't know about The Fall of Babel. And then the other one is Haites' Daughter, which is like the first in that big series. I'm not gonna start that one over, but it will be more of like a wintry sort of read, but I may read that one. This could be the last book or that one. So this could be the next to last. But anyway, we're doing The Impossible Impostor by Deanna Rayburn. I've said before, I'm not as excited about, sorry, I'm just staring at this cake. I'm not as excited about this series anymore as I used to be. The series was really good for the first 4 books. The 4th book was my favorite, A Dangerous Collaboration. Ironically, I was watching Kayla from Books and Lala, her recent video, and she posted that she had the exact same reading order that I do of this one, as far as our favorites. My favorite and hers too was number 4. Number 1, A Curious Beginning, is my second favorite. Number 3 is probably number 2. Well, I can't remember now, but anyway, we have the same ranking. But they're just okay now. They're like a little long, drawn out. Not much is happening. Like there is some stuff happening, but it's just taking forever. I don't know why. Like there's just all these like side characters that are, I just don't care. I mean, they're like just specific to that story, you know, and like I just don't care. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to continue the series. I just hope that they kind of get better again. But the relationship between Veronica, Speedwell, and Stoker in these books, she's she studies butterflies and catches them. She's a lepidopterist. And she meets this guy, Stoker, who's from like this pretty important family. And, you know, he's kind of brooding and fun. And of course, the romantic tension is like what carries the series. So once they kind of decide to get together, like that's not really a spoiler because of course they're going to. I won't tell you what book it happens in. But I just don't care as much anymore. So now there's secrets that they, you know, that Veronica's kind of been keeping, and those are sort of coming out now in this book. But like, I don't know, it all just feels contrived now. It's just not as good. And the mysteries are not as good. The writing's still good, although not maybe as good as the first one. Like the first one, it was so funny and witty and clever, and that's one reason I loved it. But I'm gonna continue. I started it back yesterday. I think I was at 41%, but I went back to start at like 25, or no, I was at 31%. So I started back at like 25% of the audiobook, and I'm now just a little over 50%. So we're gonna read it pretty fast, 1.75 speed, and when I get a little farther, if there's anything interesting happening, I'll let you know. What is this cloud? What is that cloud? Is it like a wall cloud or whatever they call it? And it's like coming right for us. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I gotta get to the house quick. Sorry if you hear people talking. The neighbors are like really being noisy. Anyway, I finished it. I finished Impostor, and that means I think I finished this vlog. We'll do a wrap up here after a while, but I didn't update you during this book. I feel like I've kind of let you down on a couple of these books, but honestly, the reason why I didn't update you is because, wait, what is that on the floor? Let's go deadbeat. Anyway, I did not update you about this book because what would I have said? It's my least favorite of the Veronica Speedwell books. It's the first one I truly gave just 3 stars. I didn't care at all. Like, why did I even read it? I think I still have hopes that the rest of the series is going to be okay. And like, I kind of liked the way it ended. It's going to take like a turn now. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much for you about the previous books, but you know, once characters and books get together, I guess I just like the slow burn romance part. And once they get together, I just don't care anymore. And then they try to make fake issues between them, which I'm sure is going to happen. And I don't know. The plot is just not very good anymore. It was really long. The audiobook, I think, was almost 13 hours. And like, it didn't need to be. It didn't need to be. And I do like that the mysteries are kind of connected to the characters now. Like there's a character in this book who Veronica knows from her past. So like it is about the characters. It's not just like a random mystery. And I mean, most of the books try to do something like that. But I don't know. It was just fine. The writing is still good, but I mean, it's not as witty and quirky and fun as like the first book was, which is what really, really hooked me into the series, honestly, was the writing and then the characters and the slow burn romance. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it better get better, or would I really DNF the series? I don't know. I mean, I made it this far. This book like what, 6 or 7 or something? I think there's like 9 right now. I think this is book 6. Is this book 6? I don't know. I don't know anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'll continue. So I didn't update you as I went because there was just nothing to say. It was just fine. I just powered through it because I could listen while I was doing other stuff. And I got through it. It's done. It was 3 stars. How sad. Hey guys, I just realized I never wrapped up this video and it's been months. So honestly, I can't remember everything that happened in it, but I did film this video over the summer. It was supposed to be a summer long extravaganza, finishing all the books I was in the middle of, like while I was off for the summer, and then I went back to school, and now it's December. So I hope you've enjoyed watching whatever this video was of just me finishing most of the books I was in the middle of. I feel pretty good about it. The only book I decided not to really ever finish is The Fall of Babel. I have decided to DNF that series, and I actually read a plot synopsis just to see how the series ended, because I did not have the effort. I didn't want to put the effort to go back and read the first 3 again, or even a plot summary of the first 3. There was so much going on. I hear that the end is kind of a letdown. I read what happened, like I'm fine with it, but I'm glad I didn't spend hours upon hours upon hours. It's a super massively long book. So I'm still in the middle of what's it called? The Troy game series. I'm still gonna reread the first one at some point, but I'm kind of counting it as like not being in the middle of that book anymore because I'm just putting it down and like kind of doing other things. So I kind of basically finished all the books that I set out to finish. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.